history scholars. I'm Miss Ziegler, the Time Machine teacher, and on this channel we're going to be talking about everything to get you ready for the AP World History exam. In this series, I'll be doing a document a day about World War I, and then we'll put them all together in a DBQ. So, if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. Let's get started looking at those documents. Here we go with document number 7. This is from Wilfred Owen. He is a poet and a soldier in World War I. He is diagnosed as suffering from shell shock, which is kind of like PTSD, which means basically that he just was really scarred from what he saw during the war. So go ahead and pause this, see if you can describe, support, and explain. Welcome back. Let's look at this. He says, bent double like old beggars under sacks. Knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, blood-shod, all lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of tired, outstripped 5-9s that dropped behind. Gas, gas, quick boys, an ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling and floundering like a man in a fire or lime, dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea I saw him drowning. What's he talking about here? He's talking about the poison gas. It had kind of like a yellowish, greenish color. So this would be chemical weapons. We talked about that in class where they had to always be prepared for a gas attack. Then he continues and he says, in all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his hanging face like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear, or at every jolt, the blood come gargling from forth corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory, to the old lie, dulce et decorum est pro patria more. Dulce et decorum est pro patria more is a Latin saying. It means it is sweet and proper to die for one's country. So if this were actually on the AP exam, they would translate that for you. But basically, this document number 6 talked about how patriotic it was to go and die, right? This is the opposite of that. He's kind of giving you a glimpse of what it would be like in the trenches. So this is like trench warfare from his standpoint, who was a soldier who actually like fought in the trenches. So he would be really good to do point of view on, right? Because we know he was actually there. We also know that he's suffering from shell shock. So his experience was really, really bad. So you would say the point of view of Wilfred Owen is that he actually fought in the trenches. He knows how it was. And so we can really trust his judgment that he's describing it the way that he saw it. Okay, so to describe this, you could say that Wilfred Owen is describing what it was like to fight in the trenches and how awful it actually was. So to use this document to support something, you would probably be supporting the negative effect that the war had on these soldiers. So now what we need to do is go to the document analysis and group these into a DBQ. Now on to the DBQ analysis.